Welcome back to another episode of No Shame with Shane, where the takes have no lies, no bias, but most importantly, no shame. I've been quiet for a minute. I've been quiet for a minute. I had to cover Commanders training camp for work this week. I was behind enemy lines, but I am back, and I've been quiet for too long. The NFL execs, they knew what they were doing with this list. They knew exactly what they were doing with this list, getting us riled up before the season starts. I mean, just looking at this list, bro, it made me so mad. It made me so mad. It made me confused. Like, I didn't know if the people voting on this list actually watched football during last season or if they were just going off of the hype. Like, I didn't know if these were like real ball knowers, real ball watchers, or if it were just guys going off big names. Like, you look at this list, bro. Patrick Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2, Burrow at 3, Lamar at 4, JD at 5, Matt Stafford at 6, Herbert at 7, Goff at 8, Hurts all the way down at 9, and Baker Mayfield at 10. Bro, so many things wrong with this list, bro. So many things wrong with this list, but like, just for the sake of the episode, focusing on Hurts' placement, bro. First of all, there should really only be one name above Jalen Hurts. There should only be one name above Jalen Hurts, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Although I wouldn't be mad, like, I would understand it if you made it two names. Like, I would understand, the only two names I would understand being above Jalen Hurts on this list are Patrick Mahomes and Matt Stafford. Like, I could see those two. You could definitely make a case for those two guys. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes being the greatest quarterback of this generation, 2-time MVP, 3-time champion, all pro guy, Hall of Famer right now if he were to retire. But then Matt Stafford, I could understand as well. I mean, elite talent. He's a winner. He survived purgatory, or in what was purgatory in Detroit. Like, can really do anything you need an elite quarterback to do. I could understand Matt Stafford, a guy who had to overcome his circumstances, a guy who does have a championship under his belt. Like, I could understand those two guys. You could make a case for those two guys. I still think, obviously, Jalen Hurts should be at number 2, but you can make a case for those two guys. Other than those two guys, other than Patrick Mahomes especially, there's no other name on this list that should be above Jalen Hurts. There's no other name. There's no reason Jalen Hurts' name should not be above Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen on this list for starters. There's no way. There's no, like, these guys haven't done anything when it matters the most to show that they are better quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts. Like, other than being dominant in the regular season, how that dominance, it has not carried over to the postseason. Like, these guys basically got awarded for losing in the postseason. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, on this list, these guys were rewarded for losing in the postseason. None of those guys have done what Jalen Hurts has done twice now. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls before 2 out of 3 of the guys I just named have been to 1. Like, bro, they haven't done anything to show that they are better than Jalen Hurts. If you're looking at Jalen Hurts, like, the most important stat when it comes to quarterbacks is winning. That's the most important stat. None of those other quarterbacks win at a better rate than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has the highest winning percentage of any quarterback, including Patrick Mahomes, since 2022. And I know people will say, well, winning is a team stat. Like, Jalen Hurts has the talent. Jalen Hurts isn't winning the games, it's the team. He's not having to throw the ball. He's winning games because of Saquon Barkley. He's winning games because of his defense. First of all, that's ridiculous. Because if we're going to pretend like these other three guys haven't had talent, have had to carry their teams to the heights that they have reached in their careers, that's ridiculous. Even looking at those three guys specifically, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, talking about Jalen Hurts doesn't throw, he just see only won because of Saquon Barkley. Out of their whole careers, Jalen Hurts has a better record than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow when he has thrown the ball 30 or more times. When all four of these guys have moved the ball through the air 30 or more times, Jalen Hurts is a better winner, still comes out as a better winner than those guys. All four guys moving the ball through the air, Jalen Hurts has more wins. Jalen Hurts has a 70% winning percentage when he has thrown the ball 30 or more times in a game. And compared to Josh Allen's 63%, Lamar Jackson's 55%, and Joe Burrow's 52%. So Jalen Hurts is more clutch and is more of a winner through the air than Josh Allen, who is praised for his arm strength, than Lamar Jackson, who is praised for his legs, than Joe Burrow, who is praised for his clutch factor, for his ability to win games. Jalen Hurts is more of a winner than those guys when moving the ball through the air. He's more of a winner. Like, there is nothing that Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson have done other than putting up flashy stats in the regular season to show that they are a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. You can't be a better quarterback than someone if you aren't a better winner than that person. You can't be the best quarterback if you aren't the best winner. That's why Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time, because he was also the best winner. That's why Eli Manning is going to be a Hall of Famer, because he was a winner. He was able to beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. That's what sets quarterbacks apart, is their ability to win games. That's why Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of this generation, because he has more rings than these other guys. But that's the crazy, even looking at that, Jalen Hurts, out of those four guys, of him, Lamar, Joe, and Josh, is the better winner out of that group. But even looking at Mahomes, if he can give Mahomes a run for his money, the fact that he can say he not only beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, this year, but outplayed Mahomes twice in both of their Super Bowl matchups, the fact that he can even say that gives him a case to be top 5. The fact that he has the talent that he does, that he has the arm strength and talent that he does, the athleticism that he has, but also has the winning stats, the winning capabilities to match up with that talent, the intangibles to match up with that talent, should give him an argument for top 5 at the least. Top 5 at the least. The fact that he can say he has beaten and outplayed Josh Allen in their previous matchup. The fact that he can say he has beaten and outplayed Lamar Jackson in their previous matchup. The fact that he can say he has beaten and outplayed Joe Burrow in their previous matchup. The fact that he can say that he has beaten and outplayed Patrick Mahomes in their previous matchups in the Super Bowl is enough that should give Jalen Hurts a case for number 2 on this list. Let alone number 9. Let alone number 5 or number 9. Jalen Hurts, there's no reason. The only 2 names that you could possibly have a case for in regards to being over Jalen Hurts on this list are Patrick Mahomes and maybe Matt Stafford. Those are the only 2 names. Jalen Hurts is arguably the best winner in the NFL in regards to NFL quarterbacks right now. That's with Patrick Mahomes included. He is in the past 4 years now, he has the best win rate of any other quarterback in the NFL. He is the best. Winning is a skill. That is his skill. Being able to win games is a skill. It is a skill that is valuable to a quarterback. It's valuable to your quarterback. Like, honestly, the way this guy wins games, the way this guy is able to win games, like when we talk about winning being a skill, the greatest players to ever play their respective sport had that skill to win games. Like, honestly, Jalen Hurts is the closest thing the NFL has to Kobe Bryant. He's the closest thing the NFL has to. Jalen Hurts is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. That's in regards to his mentality, his approach to the game, his obsessiveness with winning, never being satisfied with a victory, always wanting more, his ability to win those games. But then also in how he is disrespected and underappreciated for his accomplishments. I honestly see a lot of similarities between Kobe Bryant and Jalen Hurts. Both had to overcome adversity early on in their career before growing into the champions that they became to be. They were both they're both disrespected and underappreciated for their accomplishments. Kobe Bryant being disrespected in the grand scope of things, not being seen as a top 10 player according to the NBA execs all time, not being listed as a top 10 all time player according to the NBA execs. Jalen Hurts not being listed as a top 5 quarterback in regards to current NFL quarterbacks. Both are disrespected and underappreciated. But I'm looking at Jalen Hurts and Kobe Bryant, and I'm seeing a lot of similarities. Like I said, they both had to overcome adversity early on in their career. Kobe Bryant hardly played his first 2 years in the NBA, didn't start until his third year, averaging 15 points a game. Jalen Hurts, after being 25-2 as a starter in the regular season, gets benched in the national championship game against Georgia for Tua Tagovailoa before being a backup for that entire following regular season before leading the Tide to a historic fourth quarter comeback. They both struggled early on in their careers. Kobe Bryant, four big air balls, four air balls on four pivotal shots in the first round of the playoffs, his first real playoff appearance against a finals favorite Utah Jazz team. Jalen Hurts not being able to get anything going really in the first half of the national championship game, his biggest game of his career at that point against Georgia. But both those guys, they used those struggles to grow. They used those struggles to make themselves stronger and to make themselves winners, to make themselves better athletes, better players. They used those moments of adversity to make themselves stronger. Kobe Bryant gets his chance in year 3, gets a chance to not only start, he starts, but he gets a chance to develop more of a versatility, playing out of position, playing at the 3 as well as the 2. The next year, he's a champion. His second year starting, he's a champion. Jalen Hurts being doubted even after his fourth quarter comeback, being doubted as a passer, even after being named a Heisman finalist, being doubted going to the Eagles. His first year starting, he leads the Eagles to the playoffs, carries the Eagles to the playoffs. His second year starting, he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, MVP candidate. Both of these guys, in their second year, having a second consecutive year in their new roles, were championship caliber players. I don't think that's a coincidence. These guys, when they finally got their opportunity to shine, they made the most of it. They made the most of it. Kobe Bryant, as a starter, developed himself, proven to be an immediate star in the NBA his first year starting. Jalen Hurts, his first year starting, proved to be a playoff caliber quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks, at least in the conference. Their second year starting, Kobe Bryant is now a champion. Jalen Hurts now has a Super Bowl appearance. Jalen Hurts, in his second year starting, gets a Super Bowl appearance before a Dak Prescott, who has been in the NFL for quite some time before that point. Gets a Super Bowl appearance before a Josh Allen, who had already developed himself proven himself as a superstar in the NFL. These two guys are very similar. Jalen Hurts is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. He is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. He made the most of his opportunity when he got it, and he has only gotten better since then. But it's a lot of similarities. It's a lot of similarities between Kobe Bryant and Jalen Hurts. They were both, but the biggest similarity I'm seeing is how they both continue to be disrespected in the grand scope of things. In spite of being one of the greatest basketball players to ever live, to ever play the game, being a 5-time champion, being one of the greatest athletes of all time, he's still not seen as a top 10 player of all time, according to NBA execs. Despite being a champion, despite being a Super Bowl MVP, despite having the best win percentage of any quarterback in the NFL right now, despite having 2 Super Bowl appearances in 3 years, despite having 2 Super Bowl appearances before Lamar Jackson, before Josh Allen got one, Jalen Hurts is still not seen as a top 5 quarterback in regards to current quarterbacks, according to NFL execs. Both guys, very disrespected and underappreciated for their accomplishments and their greatness. Both guys being really underrated in regards to their respective standings. Like, Jalen Hurts is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL, and it's only up from here. It's only up from here. Like, Jalen Hurts is not done. He is going to achieve more before it's all said and done. But I keep looking at this list. You know, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson are elite quarterbacks at the end of the day. I understand. I don't agree. While I don't agree with the arguments, I understand them. There is at least logic in what is being used in arguments for Josh, for Burrow, for Lamar. MVPs, 2 out of 3 are MVPs. One of those guys has been to a Super Bowl. One of those guys beat Mahomes in the playoffs. I understand the logic. I disagree. I understand the logic. Looking at other names on this list, I don't even understand the logic. I don't understand the logic with Justin Herbert and Jared Goff being above Hurts on this list. Burrow, Lamar, Josh, that's one thing. Putting Justin Herbert and Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts on this list is by far one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard of in sports. There is nothing that Jared Goff or Justin Herbert have done to show that they are better quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts. These two guys are good to great in the regular season. Good to great in the regular season. They'll put up flashy stats. But there is nothing that these guys have done in the playoffs to show that they clear Jalen Hurts. These guys are guys that look good in the regular season, but they fold in the playoffs. They crumble under the pressure. Jared, look at the most recent examples. We saw perfect examples of this year in the playoffs. Jared Goff against the Commanders in the divisional round. 3 picks. 3 turnovers against the Commanders. Against the Commanders defense that was not better than the Lions offense. An MVP, a guy who was really an MVP candidate in the regular season. 3 interceptions against the Commanders defense. Justin Herbert, wild card round against the Houston Texans. 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers against the Texans defense that was not better than the Chargers offense. 4 turnovers. Now, looking at these two guys, Jared Goff, I could say at least I could see him having a spot on this list at all. Like, I could see Jared Goff having a spot on this top 10 list. He's been to a Super Bowl. He has championship DNA. Like I said, he put up he put up MVP caliber numbers this year. Big reason for the Lions' success. Like he's accurate. He's a good leader. Jared Goff is a good systematic quarterback. But he's not Jalen Hurts. He's not Jalen Hurts. I can see Jared Goff being a top 10 quarterback right now on this list. He's not Jalen Hurts. And the real question is, what does Jared Goff look like when he doesn't have a Hall of Fame caliber offensive coordinator, offensive mind on his sideline in Sean McVay and Ben Johnson? That's going to be what's interesting to see this year. How good do those stats look when he doesn't have an offensive wizard calling the shots on the sideline? But looking at Justin Herbert has done nothing. See, Justin Herbert doesn't belong on this list at all. Justin Herbert doesn't belong on this top 10 quarterback list at all, let alone being on it above Jalen Hurts. Let alone being on it above Jalen Hurts. He's done nothing to show he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, let alone to have his name on this list at all. Justin Herbert, you look at Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts side by side. Jalen Hurts is 6-3 in the playoffs, while Justin Herbert is 0-2. 0-2. Jalen Hurts has 20 total touchdowns in his career in the playoffs. Justin Herbert has 2. Out of 20 touchdowns, Jalen Hurts only has 4 turnovers. Justin Herbert has 4. Justin Herbert has more turnovers in the playoffs than he does touchdowns. And all 4 of those turnovers came in one game. All 4 of those turnovers came in one game against a defense that was not better than his offense. Like, there's nothing Justin Herbert has done to show that he is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. There's nothing Justin Herbert does better than Jalen Hurts other than be tall and throw a slightly better looking spiral. A slightly better looking spiral. Those are the only things Justin Herbert does that he does better than Jalen Hurts, is just be taller and throw a slightly better looking spiral. He throws a pretty ball. Other than that, Justin Herbert does not belong on this list at all, let alone be on this list above Jalen Hurts. There's absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. Like, bro, Justin Herbert, I've never seen someone get rewarded so much for losing. I've never seen it. If Jalen Hurts had these playoff stats, these playoff stats that Justin Herbert has, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Jalen Hurts would be disregarded as an elite, as a starting capable quarterback, let alone a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. There's no way. You reverse these roles, bro. Jalen Hurts is not getting the same treatment. I've never seen someone get rewarded so much for losing, for literally doing nothing. Doing nothing. Like, Justin Herbert is getting rewarded for success that he does not have, that he has not shown capable of achieving. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because he's tall, because he has a strong arm, he automatically is ranked above a champion, he gets ranked above a champion, a Super Bowl MVP. The fact that Justin Herbert, a guy who hasn't won a single playoff game, who has more turnovers in the playoffs than touchdowns, the fact that a guy like that can be ranked higher than a guy who has been to 2 Super Bowls in back-to-back years, or 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, a guy who has won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, a guy who consistently is in the playoffs. The fact that a guy like Justin Herbert can be ranked over Jalen Hurts makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Like, there are really no other names on this list that should be held or ranked over Jalen Hurts. A name that does stick out to me, though, is Jaden Daniels. Like, Jaden Daniels had a great year his rookie season for sure. But there is no reason after 1 year, 1 season, he should be ranked higher than Jalen Hurts. There's no reason for that. Now, something Jaden Daniels has, I think, that no one else has on this list is his ceiling. Like, just logically, Jaden Daniels, of course, has the highest ceiling out of any quarterback on this list coming off the rookie year that he had. Like, understandably so. I mean, like, a guy, like, he proved to be the greatest rookie quarterback of all time. The greatest rookie quarterback of all time. Just by default, he has a higher ceiling than any quarterback on this list. I think Jaden Daniels could be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Whether it's in a couple years, whether when it's all said and done, he could be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But we can't say that now. It's way too early to say that now. It's way too early to say Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts after 1 year. After 1 year. That makes no sense. We can't say Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, let alone a top 5 to 6 quarterback in the NFL after 1 year. Jaden Daniels doesn't have it's too early to give Jaden Daniels a case for any of these quarterbacks in the top 6 and Hurts in 1 year. It's too early. Looking at Pat, looking at Josh, looking at JB, looking at Lamar, looking at Stafford, looking at Hurts, it's way too early to say Jaden Daniels is better than at least any of those 6 guys right now. It's way too early. I think, though, he could be. But that's another name. It doesn't make sense. Like, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, there's no way those 3 guys should be over Jalen Hurts. You guys already know what I think about the big 3 in Burrow, Lamar, and Josh. Like, there's just like, me personally, there's no way Jalen Hurts shouldn't have at least been 5 on this list. At the very least 5. At the very least. No reason he should have been at least 5. Now, me personally, I think he should have been 2. But there's just no reason. He absolutely should not be number 9 on this list. Absolutely not. Like, the only people who would say Jalen Hurts is the 9th to 10th best quarterback on this list, or doesn't even make the list at all, which is what people are saying. The only people that would say that about Hurts are people who don't watch the games, people who don't really watch the games, people who don't know ball, or people who hate on him because he has been able to accomplish something that certain guys have not. It's either guys who don't watch ball, who don't know ball, or who are jealous of him because he was able to accomplish something that they weren't. Guys like Cam Newton. Cam Newton is really pissing me off, bro. Cam Newton is really pissing me off. Like, it really makes no sense. Like, you're telling me just a few months ago, Cam Newton was saying, oh, well, if Jalen Hurts gets to a Super Bowl, wins a Super Bowl, he definitely has a case for top 10. To now saying that now that he not only won the Super Bowl, but has a Super Bowl MVP, is now not a top 10 quarterback at all. Has no case for top 10. That's jealousy, bro. That's jealousy. Like, honestly, bro, at this point, no matter how well Jalen Hurts plays, no matter what he is able to accomplish, as long as he is in an Eagles uniform, he is never going to get the credit he deserves. He is never going to get the credit and the respect that he deserves as an elite quarterback in the NFL, as long as he's in an Eagles uniform. Like, at this point, bro, I got to accept it. Because, like, the fact that somebody can say after what we've seen from Jalen Hurts that he's not even top 10, that he is not top 6 or 5 at least, the fact that people can say that, bro, like, there's nothing he will be able to do to prove those people, like, to make people change their minds. Like, there's nothing, like, you can't cure insanity. Like, you just can't. You can't cure insanity. Like, bro, I look at Cam Newton, bro. Like, Cam Newton is honestly a hypocrite. He's honestly a hypocrite. Like, the fact that you can say Jalen Hurts isn't top 10 at all, and you're saying he's not a better quarterback than guys who haven't won a Super Bowl, let alone been to a Super Bowl, it's crazy to me. Honestly, Jalen Hurts is better than you. Cam is talking about Jalen Hurts isn't this, Jalen Hurts isn't that. Jalen Hurts is better than you, bro. Jalen Hurts is better than Cam Newton. I would take Jalen Hurts right now than prime Cam Newton. Because what did Cam Newton do besides win a regular season MVP to show that he is better than Jalen Hurts? If you honestly, when it's all said and done, Jalen Hurts' legacy will be far greater than Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts' legacy, when it's all said and done, will be far greater than Cam Newton's. Cam Newton's career will be defined by one good season that fell short of great. One good season that fell short of great, while Jalen Hurts' career will be defined by multiple championships. Because if you think Jalen Hurts is done, you're crazy. If you think Jalen Hurts is done, you're insane. He hasn't even put on the ring yet from this year's Super Bowl because he's focused on the next one. That's a hunger that Cam Newton never had. And he's showing now that he never had that hunger in his latest remarks. Cam Newton is the same quarterback who said that he wouldn't trade his regular season MVP for a Super Bowl. He said he wouldn't trade his regular season MVP for the Lombardi Trophy, for a Lombardi Trophy replica sitting in his house. That should tell you everything you need to know about Cam, bro. That should tell you everything you need to know about Cam's mentality. That right there shows that Jalen Hurts right now is more of a winner than Cam Newton ever was. Because a real winner would never say anything like that. You look at any quarterback who has ever won a Super Bowl, they'll tell you in a second they would prefer their Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi, over their regular season MVP. That's something, even looking at current quarterbacks, look at Lamar Jackson, who is a 2-time MVP. He was never worried about those MVPs. He would blatantly say, when reporters would ask him, about how it would feel to win his first MVP, let alone second, he would always respond with, well, the Super Bowl trophy would feel better. A Super Bowl MVP would feel better. A Super Bowl would feel better than an MVP. That shows the difference. You can see the difference in the mindset of some of these guys. Lamar Jackson has the heart of a winner. He at least has the aspirations of a winner. Cam Newton, you could see just in his latest remarks, he was worried about him. He was worried about his glory, him. He wasn't worried. Championships weren't on his mind. Cam Newton was not a championship player. Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is a championship player. I bet you this, Jalen Hurts would have jumped on that ball. Jalen Hurts would have definitely jumped on that ball. It's because Jalen Hurts has more heart. Jalen Hurts has more heart than Cam Newton did, and that's the difference. No matter how talented Cam Newton was in his prime, no matter how many yards he threw for, no matter how many touchdowns he threw for, no matter how many touchdowns he ran for, no matter how talented he was, his heart was never at the level of Jalen Hurts. That's the difference. Jalen Hurts is closer to being a Hall of Famer right now than Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, one of the most iconic QBs to ever play the game, one of the most iconic seasons by a quarterback in NFL history, he is not as close to being a Hall of Famer as Jalen Hurts. 100, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Jalen Hurts has more heart, and that's the difference between these two. Jalen Hurts would have jumped on the ball. He'd have jumped on the ball. Jalen Hurts is more of a winner than Cam was. And I know people are going to say, well, Cam didn't have the talent Jalen Hurts had. Jalen Hurts only wins because the talent is around him. Like, first of all, bro, Cam Newton, we're not going to act like Cam Newton just dragged the Panthers to the Super Bowl. Great season, obviously MVP season, 15-1. We are not going to act like Cam Newton dragged the Panthers to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl by himself. You look at both of these guys at the Super Bowl. Yes, Jalen Hurts has a very talented offense, best defense in the NFL. But if you remember, the Panthers in 2015 had one of the best defenses in the NFL as well. The Panthers had an elite defense. 6 Pro Bowlers, one of which was obviously a Hall of Famer in Luke Kuechly. A defense with Luke Kuechly, Josh Norman, Kawan Short, Thomas Davis. Like, this was a defense that led the league in interceptions. They were one of the top teams in points allowed per game, one of the top teams in takeaways. Cam Newton had an elite defense, just like Jalen Hurts did. But Cam couldn't get it done. Cam Newton played an all-time quarterback just like Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts played an all-time quarterback just like Cam Newton did. Jalen Hurts played an elite defense just like Cam Newton did. Difference is one won, one got it done, and one didn't. One number one got it done, while the other number one could not. Cam Newton had an elite defense, just like Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts definitely had more talent on offense than Cam Newton, but Cam Newton was not just working with scrubs on offense. He had a Hall of Fame tight end in Greg Olsen. He had good receivers in Ted Ginn Jr., in Kelvin Benjamin. Now, what Kelvin Benjamin became after Cam Newton is different. But with Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin was a good receiver. Funches, a good receiver. Cam Newton had talent. He had enough talent to win that game. So let's not make it about Jalen Hurts got carried to a Super Bowl dub because of the talent around him. Jalen Hurts was Super Bowl MVP. 292 yards of total offense. 3 total touchdowns. That's Jalen Hurts. That's not just because of the talent around Jalen Hurts. Both guys on the same stage, both guys with Super Bowl winning caliber talent around them, both guys playing against an elite team, but one was able to get the dub, one caught the L. There's a difference between the two. Like, you look at Jalen, people will try to say, well, Jalen Hurts has significantly more talent than Cam Newton. If Cam Newton had that team, the Eagles would have won too. Okay. Maybe the Eagles would have won with Cam Newton. Maybe they would have. But we know they won with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP. It's not like he was a scrub. It's not like he was a bystander. Jalen Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wasn't Joe Flacco in the Super Bowl. He was a Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts played against an all-time quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, just like Cam Newton did against Peyton Manning. Jalen Hurts played against an elite defense in the Chiefs defense, just like Cam Newton played an elite defense in the Broncos, led by Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. They both had elite competition. If anything, you could say Jalen Hurts, even though he maybe had more talent on offense, he had to play against more talent in his opposition than Cam did. You could say Jalen Hurts had more competition in his Super Bowl than Cam did. Patrick Mahomes was obviously a better quarterback at this point in his career than Peyton Manning was when he faced off against Cam. You could, just off that alone, you could say Jalen Hurts had more competition having to play a guy who was fighting for GOAT status than Cam Newton playing against Peyton Manning. We're not going to act like Cam Newton just carried this Panther squad to the Super Bowl by himself. Jalen Hurts did something in the Super Bowl that Cam Newton was not able to do, and that was win. That was win. Jalen Hurts rose to the occasion, whereas Cam Newton fell. Cam Newton folded under the lights on that stage. And that is a skill. Being able to withstand the circumstances, being able to rise to the occasion is a skill. It's a skill. We can't say it's not a skill. The fact that Cam Newton can be as dominant as he was in the regular season, but crumble the way he did in the Super Bowl, shows you how important and how real of a skill winning is in the playoffs. That proves right there that winning is a skill. Rising to the occasion is a skill. Being clutch is a skill. It's a skill that Jalen Hurts has that Cam Newton did not have. I honestly don't know what else to say about that. It's very clear the differences here. That's the fact that Jalen Hurts has that skill is the exact reason why I would take Jalen Hurts as my quarterback before I would take prime Cam Newton, because I know Jalen Hurts is going to get better and elevate his game in the biggest moments of the season, in the biggest moments of the game, in the biggest moments on the biggest stages. I'm not certain prime Cam Newton will be able to do that because he never showed the capability of being able to do that. He never went back to the Super Bowl. He never ran it back. He was never able to bounce back from that devastating L. Something else Jalen Hurts showed capable of doing. So y'all that want to hate on Jalen Hurts, remember your favorite quarterback, one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time, couldn't achieve something that Jalen Hurts was able to achieve. Your favorite quarterback was not able to accomplish something that Jalen Hurts was able to accomplish. And we're not going to say it's because of the talent difference. We're not going to say it's because Cam Newton was by himself, didn't have the talent. Like, him not having talent had nothing to do with him being willing to jump on that ball and put his body on the line for his team. Him not having talent had nothing to do with him being able to hold on to the ball twice as opposed to coughing it up to Von Miller, allowing Von Miller to make a significant legacy move in his career. That has nothing to do with talent. It had nothing to do with talent. Cam Newton was not as good, no matter how good he was in the regular season, no matter how talented he was in the regular season. Cam Newton was not as much of a winner as Jalen Hurts. If these two faced off in their prime Cam Newton in that Panthers team against prime Hurts in this Eagles team, Cam, like if they were in the league at the same time, Cam Newton would have never made it to a Super Bowl. If Cam Newton and Jalen Hurts were in the league at the same time, both at their primes, Jalen Hurts would be the Patrick Mahomes to Cam Newton's Josh Allen. 100%. Because Cam Newton would have never been able to rise to the level of a peak playoff version of Jalen Hurts. No matter how good he was in the regular season. No matter how good he was in the regular season, he would have never been able to get past Hurts. He would never have a Super Bowl if Hurts was in the league at the same time as him. He should honestly be thankful Hurts was not in the league at the same time that he was. Because he wouldn't have a Super Bowl appearance right now. But that's all we got for today's edition of No Shame with Shane. If you haven't already, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. And I will be back later on with more shameless takes.